All right, let's get into this one and see what this is all about.
You talk about the Eagles. If you want to run it back and go back to back, Howie Roseman does it in the offseason well. 10 of the 11 offensive starters are slated to return. But on defense, they have a few key starters that are up when you talk about their contracts. Zach Braun, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, all will hit free agency. The team is currently having, I think, $3 million of cap space.
Well, about that, man. Yeah, we know it's going to be off season to change. How do you see the off season going? With the amount of free agents, I think there are 14 in total on offense and defense. Who do you see coming back? Who do you see us having to let go? Who would you rather be fine, letting go? And who would you ultimately have to have back? So looking back at this list, man, yeah, I understand that. I don't think we have 3 million. I think we have 18 million, but it's according to different sites. I'm gonna go with 18 million because that's the number that I've seen at not just one place, but multiple. I don't know where they're getting 3 from. Maybe I don't know if those places are projecting the cap to grow, but it's gonna be tough because people are gonna come through and they already cherry picked our roster with the offensive coordinator becoming head coach for the third time, or I should say, for the second time, third time overall that a coordinator of ours has become a head coach. Luckily, Vic Fangio says he wants to be here for life, so we're good on that front. But we still have to get, an offensive mind to pair with Jalen Hurts, someone that the brass approves of, Nick Sirianni gets along with, and that can help Jalen elevate his game. One good thing about him having multiple coordinators is that he's had to adjust and grow, and he's gleaned from each one of those guys. But it's once again another reset, another year. I think we'll be 5 for 5. In a Wendy's pack. That he's had coordinators, in the last 5 years, and it'll be, once again, a new one in 2025. But, hopefully they get someone that can pair well. But at this point, it's kind of, the norm. Unless we get, an old timer like Vic on the offensive side, it's going to be that way. And with the CEO, head coach, and Nick Sirianni, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But going back to these free agents, man, you can see Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Zach Bond, Milton Williams, Mekhi Becton. Also on offense, Kenny Gainwell is going to be out of here. And they didn't list the cornerback, Isaiah Rodgers. So that's another key one. But I would say these are the big ones. And let's start with, the man who's now an owner of 2 Super Bowl rings, and Brandon Graham. He'd be willing to stay around, for a low cost. So I'm not too worried about that, and we can sign him pretty much at any time because he's willing to come back. If it's gonna be somewhere, it's gonna be the Eagles. He didn't fly the coop, pun intended. At any earlier point in his career, he decided to stay here, resign, and he's a lifer. So if he does, doesn't decide to hang up the cleats, he'll be back in Philly green. Josh Sweat, he's a more precarious one. Because he had a down year in 2023, finishing that skid, but he finished strong and had 2.5 sacks with like 8 pressures in the Super Bowl. So, he went out on a high note, and still a young guy. Have to worry about those knees, but he's still someone that can contribute. And for me, he's not the highest priority, but he's a priority. I would say I want to resign him, and he's only still only 26 or 27 years old. In his 7th year in the league, I believe. And, he's still got, I think, a couple, good years in him. And he's gotten the most out of those knees, which has been the most sketchy. But, he overcame those knee injuries. He should have been like a first-round pick. And, talent-wise, he's that. But being a 4th-round guy, we got more than our bang for our buck with him. And, he'll hover around, the high, single digits, 8, 9 sacks, to being a double-digit sack guy. First time was in 2022. Only time in his career, but he's a solid player, smart, athletic, brings a lot, leadership. But the next guy, man, he's a high priority. He's a guy that I think we absolutely have to have back, and that's one bald eagle, Zach Bond. So that T-shirt that Landon Dickerson was wearing of him being the bald eagle was brilliant marketing, and I just love the way these guys are so ride or die for each other. But man, Zach Bond just transformed that linebacker room. Him and Nakobe Dean. I easily saw that. I mean, he's the best linebacker that we have, and we weren't even sure that he was where he's gonna be because he thought he was gonna be a backup edge guy, and he turned out to be the main guy in the middle, leading the charge, all pro season, on a $3.5 million contract. Not some people say it's 1 million, whatever, but it was chump change compared to what he's gonna be making when he breaks the bank upcoming. But hopefully, I mean, I know he loves playing here, and he feels some loyalty to Vic Fangio, saying that he wants to stay here. He wants to be indebted to he feels indebted to the Eagles because they made his career pretty much. He was languishing in anonymity in New Orleans, as a backup guy that guy they didn't know how to use, and now he's he shows up with a splash season, season for the ages, 150 plus tackles with I think like three or maybe five or six forced fumbles, 3 picks, I think 3 sacks, not including the playoffs. I mean, he just was a beast. Came up with a pick in the big bowl game. Called it before he got it. Said, I'm gonna get one. And he told Zach Bond. I mean, not Zach Bond. He told himself. He told us that pretty much on NFL Films. But we're telling what's the number 42? I'm forgetting his name. He was a key reserve. I don't think we're signing him though. The linebacker who came over from the 49ers. Won himself a ring this time instead of crashing out in the Super Bowl on a losing 40 Niners defense. I'm just throwing shots because we had our moments in 2023 and 2022. But man, Zach Bond's a must-have. Better than any linebacker we've had. I mean, in recent history. I mean, because he's just so versatile and he can rush the passer. He fits the run game excellently. Comes down to the packages and off the edge, up the middle. He just reads everything so damn well, and just so impactful, punching the ball out, recovering fumbles, picking the ball off. We haven't had a guy patrolling the middle like that. I mean, like, for us, to get one of the best linebackers by fucking happenstance. Vic said, he's not just a special teamer, priority free agent, signed on the first day of free agency. And for Vic to, see that in him, say, no, this guy belongs in the middle. I'm going to put him there, plug him there, and, make him into, a Pro Bowler. You didn't see an all pro season, man. Guy was just off the charts phenomenal. You can't count on that. We brought in 2 all pros this season. One was kind of expected. The other one came out of fucking nowhere. So hopefully he gets his money, and I see him making like 11 million or so like that. Maybe a contract comparable to the Steelers linebacker Patrick Queen, who they stole from the Ravens, and hoping that we don't let this guy get stolen by someone else like the Commanders. To see him pick him up. I don't think he's willing to go, but I think he just loves it in Philly, man. He's just such a Philly guy, cute ass kid. His child, not him. Anyways, Milton Williams, another key cog. He was a semi-starter, going alongside Jalen Carter, number 93. I mean, he's just such a beast. I mean, he showed up in the Super Bowl. I think 2 sacks for him as well. These guys just got after it, man. He was just like, belt the ass, belt the ass, belt the ass, just putting it to him, man. He did it in the Super Bowl parade, like, man. Oh, man, like, those guys just took that phrase and just ran with it. Got a child running away from him while they ran with it. They called the Chiefs. They chiefly beating that ass like a drum, so, he was an analytics pick, ran a 4.62 coming into the league from Louisiana Tech, but he's turned into a tough ass player, dominant run defender, even at his size and only 300 pounds, but he gets after it, man. So if we could sign him to a mid contract, cool, but he might just take this in opportunity and go and get his bag, man. We might get some comp picks back from this group, because, man, a lot of talented guys, but not enough money to go around. So I could see us losing him because we have Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Moro Jomo, Thomas Booker. So I could see us bringing in someone via the draft or free agency, but it's going to be hard to replace Milk because, I mean, just what he does alongside, he's going with Jalen Carter. They just give offenses hell, man. He was Hellraiser in, the Super Bowl. So, and I'm kind of muddled on this next guy, Mekhi Becton. I love what he did. Was seen as a bust in Gotham, and came down here and got treated, so well. He said he hasn't had this much fun since high school. And, miscast, too much pressure put on him as a left tackle coming into the league out of Louisville. All the talent in the world, but, just couldn't stay healthy and, struggle with consistency at times. But, they saw talent, got him for, like, $3 million or something like that. Put him at guard, and the rest is history, man. Was a mauler, gave us, with him, the biggest starting line in NFL history in the Super Bowl, man. Averaging 330, 335 plus, 30, I believe. But just beautiful, man. And, him getting all emotional and, like, crying in so many games, NFC Championship, Super Bowl, just sitting there and taking it in with his, diamond-crusted grill. Like, man, I really won this. We won this, man. Yeah, man, shout out to him. But he might take this opportunity and bound to get a bag, But he's another guy. He loves playing here because we're the team. A lot of these guys, they feel in debt because the Eagles saw someone, that saw something, valued something in them that no other team did. 32 teams had the opportunity to sign Mekhi Becton, and only one did. That tells you a lot. And Stoutland, he just does work. He does wonders, Mekhi Becton as well. Like, it's not just him. Saquon, Sirianni told him he values him even more than a running back. He said, I saw a special guy, man, a special leader. See him on the sidelines during the NFL film, son, and it's like, we ain't done yet. Don't let them fool you, deceive you. He wasn't here last time. He was trying to get revenge for our guys. And Smitty was like, bro, come on now. We finna get this shit. We finna be on it. I ain't even on that bullshit. Because last time, like, it just said, he felt like we didn't put up enough points, and that cost, him, that cost us, and we feel like when we didn't get that one drive, we were going to lose the game, and it turned out to be true. But yeah, man, Mekhi, I don't know if, we can afford him. And we do have, a third round pick in Tyler Steen that we picked up 2 years ago. And, it might be time for him to just spread his wings. And it might be cheaper to, to have to replace it. But, just either way, I like I said, if we had the money, I would love to, but I just don't think we can. Kenny Gainwell, I like him, but I think Will Shipley showed that, in spots that he could, very few, but he could pick up where Gainwell left off. He can replace him, but he's losing a lot. He was like, 4 minute back coming in to the game to spell Saquon, and he had some tough nose runs this year, some key first downs and receptions and running the ball. Just a solid performer, but I think he's gonna get some money to go somewhere. I don't think he's gonna become our new I forget the running back that just left, and he deserves a ring, but hopefully some guys that just missed it, they just shipped them honorary rings. Even though they didn't earn it, they could just say that, hey man, the Eagles honor me with this. Also, who else? Isaiah Rodgers. If Slade rides off into the sunset, sorry, I would love for him to replace him in the lineup as a starter opposite Q and keep Gene on the inside. He's just been too good there, man, too good. And you also have Keely Ringo, who's gonna compete for snaps on the outside, but gonna bring some other guys. But I would love to see us keep Rodgers. But like I said, don't know if the money's there. He is a restricted free agent. That's one thing that is working in our favor. So we'll see how things play out. But man, I know I'm probably forgetting some other guys. I don't know if our backup tight end Grant Calcaterra. I don't know if he's his contract is expiring. But what do you think, man? Who do you think we should keep? And, we can keep everybody together, but who's the priority here? So we'll stop here, but I know the truth of the matter is that you're not even watching though, but it's all good because I love making these videos and I love talking about the freaking stinking Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll try to introduce this officially, but as always, it's fly Eagles fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.